LeagueArena.com presents this VHL television exclusive. Game number 72 of the regular season, and it comes down to this: the road to the playoffs. A critical matchup between the Winnipeg Jets and the Carolina Hurricanes. Coming up next. Tonight's starting lineups for the Carolina Hurricanes: at center, hockey player; left wing, McCable; right wing, Broski; right defense, Jeremy A60; left defense, RBK Sniper; and in net, Strom. For the Jets, at center, Savage; left wing, Darth Forsberg; right wing, Reggie Hauser; right defense, Bio Hizzle; left defense, Potter; and in net, Lord Finesse. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on this VTN exclusive broadcast of the Virtual Hockey League. I'm Adam Smythe. Pre-game warm-ups are concluded. The teams are about to take the ice. The Winnipeg Jets on the road at the Carolina Hurricanes. Little do the Jets know that coming out into the tunnel, final scores that just came in. The Montreal Canadiens have lost to the Boston Bruins by the score of 8-2. If Winnipeg wins this game, Winnipeg stamps its ticket to the postseason. It's a must-win for the Jets. The Carolina Hurricanes have been officially eliminated from the playoffs, but that isn't going to stop Dingo's squad from trying to knock out their division rivals. Winnipeg Jets and the Carolina Hurricanes face off, coming up next. Hockey player versus Savage. Here's the face-off. Draw one back by Winnipeg, picked up by Bio Hizzle. Passes over to Forsberg. He gains the line, surveys the scene, passes behind the boards. Down around the corner to Reggie. Reggie passes to Savage. Savage with a shot. Strom with the glove save. Face-off to the right of Strom. One back by Carolina, picked up by Jeremy. Jeremy skates it out of the zone. Takes a hit from Forsberg, passes over to a center hockey player who's down low. He passes it back over to Boski. Boski across the ice to McCable. McCable shoots, not picked up. Not McCable with it. It's a poked off his stick. Jeremy keeps it in the zone. Carolina pressuring the Jets. And it looks like Potter's going to the box for tripping. Face-off won by Carolina. Passes over to McCable, and McCable couldn't get his stick on that puck as it's deflected by Bio Hizzle. Now DDD passing, Jeremy with the puck, carries it out of the zone to center ice, dumps it in, deflected by Reggie. Reggie with the puck. He dumps it deep into the Carolina zone. Now picked up by Sniper. Sniper can hand it. Forsberg to the slot. Savage with the shot, and that just went over the net. Now Savage still with the puck. He dumps it deep into the corner. Being chased down by RBK Sniper, who passes it up the boards, but it's intercepted by Savage. Savage gets it poked off his stick. Now picked up by Broski. Broski drops the puck off and picked up by Winnipeg and is cleared out of the zone. Jeremy intercepts that clear attempt, but that puck is deflected. Bounce is going everywhere. Now Carolina regroups, gains the line. Here comes McCable. McCable passes back to the point to Jeremy. Jeremy over to McCable. Shot. Save made by Finesse. Now Carolina keeps it in the zone. Down to the forward. Now back to Jeremy. Jeremy shoots. Scores on the power play. 1-0 Carolina. Face-off won by the Canes. Now over to Boski. Boski with the puck down low in the corner. Boski's waiting for something to open up. He passes back to the point, and Sniper hits the waffle pad of Lord Finesse. Now picked up by Carolina. Puck still loose. Now finally picked up by Reggie. Reggie passes it to Forsberg, and that puck's deflected. There's going to be a penalty on Carolina. Pass over to Bio Hizzle. Pass hits a skate and goes backwards. As Lord Finesse tries to get into the bench. Extra checker's not on the ice. Now Forsberg crosses the line. Passes over to Savage. Savage has the puck now. Savage shoots. Savage scores. Forsberg to Reggie. Reggie to Savage. Error on my part. This game is tied. Remember, the Winnipeg Jets have to win this game in order to even think about making it to the playoffs. Oh! Hockey player. Dangles down low in the corner. Comes in from the net. He buries it short side. It's now 2-1 Carolina. They bounce back. Puck's played deep into the zone. Chased down by Jeremy. Jeremy flips it out of the zone. That's deflected by Potter, but picked up by Broski. Now over to hockey player. Hockey player to Boski. Boski down low in the corner. He comes out, tries to shoot short side, and that puck is deflected up and over the glass. Face off at neutral ice. Just outside the Jets zone, excuse me. Now Boski with the puck. Getting pressured by Forsberg. He passes back to Jeremy. Jeremy can't pick it up off the boards, and that goes all the way down to the other end of the ice. Jeremy has to come down and get it. Forsberg on the pressure. Jeremy fights off Forsberg. Now passes over to Boski. Boski tries to handle the puck. Gets poked off his stick. Now picked up by Jeremy. He passes it over to hockey player. Hockey player gets poked off his stick by Biohizzle. He passes out of the zone, but it's intercepted by Boski. Boski tries to cross the line, but he's offsides. Now Winnipeg with the puck turns it over, now picked up by Carolina. McCable has the puck down low. Now passes over to Boski. Boski with the puck. He passes back to the point. RB Sniper scores. It's 3-1 Carolina with 2 minutes left in the first period. It's not looking good for Forsberg's Jets. McCable with the puck. He passes over to Boski. And the Jets are offsides. 9.8 seconds left in the first period. The Jets are down 3-1. Face off won by Carolina. Picked up by RBK Sniper, who already has 1 goal in the night. Stick lifted, loses his stick now at Forsberg. Forsberg tries to hit a streaking Reggie, but it's deflected in someone's skates, and that's the end of the first period. The Carolina Hurricanes playing the role of spoiler, trying to rain on the Jets' parade. After the first period, Carolina's up 3-1, out shooting the Jets 5-2. Jets out hitting Carolina 2-1. Time on attack 4:32 for Carolina, 1:28 for the Jets. Penalties: Winnipeg Jets were called for 1 minor. The Carolina Hurricanes are 1 for 1 on the power play. Face-offs not even close, 8-2 in favor of the Canes, and the Canes also have 2 one-timer goals. Ready for the start of the second period as Strom leads the Carolina Hurricanes back onto the ice. Here we are, face-off. Won by hockey player. He passes back to Sniper. Sniper passes to McCable. McCable with the puck down low in the corner. McCable circling, passes back behind the net to hockey player. Hockey player tries to come up in the slot. Now pass to Forsberg. That pass is deflected by Sniper. He picks it up. Now Savage with the puck. Reggie with the puck. That puck's thrown back in the neutral zone, picked up by Potter. Now over to Reggie, who passes it to Savage. Savage tries to hit Forsberg. Forsberg shoots. That's deflected wide of the net. Now down low. Another shot save made by Strom. Winnipeg's trying to pressure the Hurricanes, trying to get back into this game. Now Boski with the puck. He passes down low over to McCable. McCable passes around the boards, now picked up by Sniper. He passes back to hockey player. Back to Jeremy. Jeremy shoots. That deflected wide. Karem's way out of the zone. Back into the Carolina end. Now Sniper with the puck. He passes over to Jeremy. Jeremy passes it out of the zone. Can't hit anybody. Intercepted by Savage. Now Savage tries to dump it in. That's deflected by RBK Sniper, who passes it over to McCable. McCable takes a piece of lumber on the wrist. That's going to be a 2-minute minor on Reggie Hauser for slashing. 13:20 left in the second period. Carolina's up 3-1. And they're on the power play. Now Boski over to RBK Sniper. He shoots. That's wide. Another shot made by hockey player, and that's saved by Lord Finesse. Now Carolina still with the puck. Here comes McCable. Passes back to the point. RBK Sniper. He shoots. That's blocked by Forsberg. Now Jeremy picks up the puck. He tries to pass it, and it deflects out of the zone. They have to regroup. Now back on the attack. Now Boski gets tied up center ice, and that puck goes offsides. Another replay of Forsberg's missed opportunity there. Now Forsberg deflects a pass by RB Sniper, gets caught up in his skates, and Karem's back to RB Sniper. If I butcher your name, I do apologize. I have a habit of doing that. RBK Sniper with the puck, being pressured by Forsberg. Carolina still has 30-some seconds left on the power play. Passes back to the point. Here's RBK Sniper. Pass to Jeremy. Jeremy shot. Save made by Lord Finesse. Now Forsberg with the puck. Trying to kill some time. He passes to Savage. Savage gets bumped off the puck. Puck carries to center ice. Now he dumps it safely into the Carolina zone. Strom comes up to play it. Forsberg poke checks. Forsberg runs into the goalie. What the hell is the goon thinking? Oh, brain fart by Forsberg. Carolina now has a 5-on-3 power play for roughly about 20 seconds. Or, sorry, about 5 seconds. That clock went by fast. Now, 1:53 left on the power play. Forsberg was called for goaltender interference as he tries to poke the puck off Strom's stick, and he ends up hitting the right leg of Strom. Ref doesn't like that. Ref blows the whistle. Just ask Matt Skills, a.k.a. the fucking All-Star, about this number 12 referee. He has it up for the Jets, I guess, this season. Now Carolina trying to make some magic down low. Intercepted by Reggie. Reggie Hauser dumps it deep into the Carolina zone. Now picked up by Jeremy. Over to Boski. Boski dumps it deep into the corner. He picks up his own loose change. He comes over to the slot, and that shot made by hockey's player is deflected wide and poked out of the zone by Reggie Hauser. Now Reggie with the puck. Reggie comes in all alone, shorthanded, gets tripped. Strom makes the initial save, but number 12 is pointing to center ice. We're going to have a penalty shot. Here comes Reggie Hauser. Last time he had a penalty shot, he biffed it wide. Will he be able to score on this opportunity for the Winnipeg Jets to get back into the game? Down 3-1. Here comes Reggie. Reggie crosses the line. Deeks shoots wide off the side of the net. That's gotta be frustrating. Face off deep in Carolina's zone. Won by Savage. Picked up by Reggie. Reggie shoots. Puck's deflected. Picks up his own rebound. Passes over to Savage. Savage has the puck behind the net. Looks for something down low. He tries to shoot. That's deflected wide. Strom just got a piece of that. Now that puck's on net, and Strom kicks it to the corner. Keep the play alive. They're at even strength. They kill it off. But here comes McCable. McCable with the puck down low. He tries to shoot, and that's poked off his stick by Biohizzle. Now to Forsberg. He carries it across the line. Passes over to Reggie. Reggie with a shot. Save made by Strom. Now Forsberg with the puck. He shoots high and wide. They're trying to put pressure on Carolina, and Carolina's weathering the storm. Now that outlet pass was deflected and picked up by Sniper. That puck bounces over someone's skates and stick. Now finally picked up by Biohizzle. Poked off Reggie's stick. Now picked up by Hockey Player. Hockey Player for the Canes. Comes down low into the corner. He likes that office down there behind the net. He comes over. He tries to pass it through the slot. And it goes straight through the crease. Nobody home. Now Forsberg tries to hit a streaking Reggie. That puck's poked off the goalie's sticks. Reggie with it. That Forsberg. Forsberg off the iron like Hohen's rule. Finally picked up by Jeremy. He passes it out, but intercepted by Savage. Now Forsberg with the puck. He carries it across the line, dumps it deep into the zone, being chased down by Sniper. That puck bounces off Reggie's stick. Now picked up by hockey player for the Kings. Carries it down the line to the faceoff dot. Down low. Over to McCable. Behind the net. Looks for something down low. Can't find anything. Passes it off to Boski. Boski back to Jeremy. Jeremy shoots. Save made by Lord Finesse. That puck's still loose and poked out of the zone. Now picked up by Reggie Hauser to Forsberg. Forsberg comes in. Forsberg passes back to the point. Potter tries to pass it down low, and that puck is deflected off of Kane. Now he keeps it in the zone. That shot save made by Strom. And that's the end of the second period. No score in the second. 3-1 Hurricanes. Gut check time. The Hurricanes on the verge of knocking out their division rivals. Jets need to win this game to have a shot at the postseason. Down 2 goals. For those of you who don't know, Hone's rule, the VHL plumber, hits more pipe than a crackhead. Forsberg, doing his own Hone's rule impersonation, has hit a post and missed the net 3 times already. Typically, like Hone's rule does. Shout out to Hone's rule. Star CHL player and AHL All-Star. Gotta give the guy a little grief. Down 3-1, start of the third period. Season's on the line. This is game 72. There is no tomorrow. A win and you're in. You lose, you go home. Face off. Start of the third, won by Winnipeg. Biohizzle to Savage. Savage over to Reggie. Reggie circles, passes back to Savage. Savage with the puck. He gets it poked off his stick by Boski. Now hockey player with it. Hockey player gets robbed by Forsberg. Back over to Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser shoots. That puck's wide. Now picked up by Carolina. Intercepted by Winnipeg. In neutral zone. Reggie Hauser with the puck. Passes to Forsberg. Forsberg dishes it off before getting hit. Here comes Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser gets poked off his stick. Now finally poked off his stick. Now Forsberg tries to keep it in the zone, but he's offsides. 16:44 left in the third period. Winnipeg is down 3-1. Now Boski with the puck. He carries it across the line. Skates down low into the zone. He tries to pass in the slot. Save made by Lord Finesse. Huge save. But there's a penalty on the play. Biohizzle is getting called for interference in front of the net. The ref didn't like that. Well, excuse me, high sticking. Carolina's back on the power play. Winnipeg has to kill it off and try to get something going. That dump is intercepted by McCable, the hockey player. Back to McCable. That puck is shot low. Pad save made by Lord Finesse. Another shot by Sniper and pad save by Finesse. Now puck is still loose. Now picked up by Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser tries to break out pass to Forsberg, but that's intercepted and picked up by Boski. Boski to Sniper. Sniper gets hit by Forsberg. Now Forsberg's on a breakaway. Short-handed. He comes in. Deeks. Slows. Shoots. Scores. Short-handed goal. Winnipeg is within 1. .51 left in the third period. Carolina's up by 1. Winnipeg on the verge of being eliminated from the playoffs. Now here comes McCable. McCable over to Boski. Boski with a shot. Glove save made by Lord Finesse. Lord Finesse was a mid-season acquirement in a trade with the New Jersey Devils. It's turned out to be quite the find for the Winnipeg Jets. Comes up big in big games. Now McCable with the puck down low in the corner for the Canes. Circles around, passes back to the point to RBK Sniper. He passes it back to McCable. McCable can't find anything open. Picked up by Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser dumps it deep into the zone. Here comes Biohizzle fresh out of the box. Pressuring Jeremy. Jeremy gets bumped off the puck by Forsberg. That puck knocked off the boards and intercepted and picked up by Carolina. Now hockey player gets bounced off the puck by Forsberg. Jeremy gets pressured. He has to dump it in. Now picked up by Potter. Over to Reggie. Reggie to Forsberg. Forsberg over to Savage, who's got the hot hand. He passes over to Reggie Hauser, who passes it back to Savage. Savage with the puck down low. Passes back to Biohizzle. Biohizzle shoots. Deflected by Forsberg. Strom with the save. Now picked up by Jeremy. Passes over to Boski. Boski over to Hockey Player. Hockey Player dumps it deep into the zone, being chased down by Carolina. Finally picked up by McCable. McCable with the puck, being pressured by Reggie Hauser. He tries to pass it over to Jeremy, who gets his stick on the puck. Save made by Lord Finesse. Now Winnipeg finally gets the puck out of the zone. Jeremy has it. He has to dump it right back in. They keep the pressure up. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period. Winnipeg down by 1. On the verge of being eliminated from the playoffs by their arch rival, division opponent, the Carolina Hurricanes. Now RBK Sniper with the puck. He passes it down low to McCable. They're playing keep away. Time is on their side. Oh, shot by hockey player. It goes in off Lord Finesse's pads and in the net to regain the 2-goal advantage with 6:01 left in the third period. Winnipeg is down by 2. Now Forsberg to Reggie Hauser. That shot save made by Strom. But Winnipeg's going on the power play as McCable gets called for interference. For slashing. Now Potter with the puck. He shoots. Strom with the save. Strom covering it up. There's a crowd in front of that net. Face off to Strom's right. One back by Winnipeg. Here comes Potter. Potter over to Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser tries to pass it to Forsberg instead of shooting in a wide open net. That puck was deflected out of the zone. Potter, thinking he had possession of the puck, gives an elbow. He gives an elbow to Boski. Now face off deep in the Winnipeg zone. 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute and 10 seconds. 4 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Carolina's up by 2. Forsberg with the puck. He passes over to Biohizzle. Biohizzle crosses the line. And that's offsides. Biohizzle's trying to get back into the offense, knowing his team's down by 2, and there is no tomorrow for these Jets. The Canes playing spoiler. So far, so good. Puck is still loose. Now Forsberg's pressuring Sniper with the pressuring Jeremy for the puck. Now he passes it over to McCable. McCable with the puck down low in the corner. He circles to the half boards, comes up top the circle. Oh, shot made by Boski, goes off the post. Now picked up by Biohizzle. 2 minutes left in the third period. Down by 2. Strong comes out of the net to play it. He deflects it back over to Sniper. Sniper, the hockey player. Hockey player loses the puck. Now picked up by Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser to Forsberg. Forsberg has the puck. 1 minute left in the third period. Carolina is up 4-2. RVK Sniper being pressured by Forsberg. He dishes around the boards over to McCable. The hockey player. Hockey player gets kind of tripped up. No call. Savage pressuring the puck for the puck. Now picked up by hockey player behind the net. He gets laid out by Potter. Now Biohizzle with the puck. He passes over to Reggie Hauser. Here comes Lord Finesse. They're pulling their goalie. Savage comes in and scores. 30.7 seconds left with a pulled goalie. Winnipeg is within 1 with 30.7 seconds left on the season. Down by 1. Now Carolina. Will they answer back? Will they put the dagger in the neck of the Winnipeg Jets? They can't handle the puck. Now here comes Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser gets the puck poked off his stick. Biohizzle pinches in. Gets it down deep in the corner. Blocks that outlook pass. Now picked up by Savage. Savage passes over to... Oh, can you believe it? Savage tries to pass it back to Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser tries to hit an open Forsberg, and it deflects off hockey player's stick into his own net. The Winnipeg Jets, after pulling the goalie, have tied the game at 4 with less than a minute left. The last game of the regular season. The game that decides if you make it to the playoffs. Down by 2 with 1 minute left. The Jets tie it. We're going to overtime. Does it get any more dramatic? I need a drink. Look at that goal by hockey player. Bounces right off Lord Finesse's pads and into the net to take a 4-2 lead. But the Jets don't quit. They keep coming. They pull the goalie. Savage comes in, gets within 1, and then they go back onto the attack. Savage passes over to Reggie. Reggie tries to hit Savage, and it bumps off a hockey player's stick. Right there. And he pokes it in his own net. Oh, it sucks. After the third period, shots even 14, goals even at 14. Jets out hitting the Canes 7-4. Time on attack not even close. Carolina's been dominating this game 11-37 to 4-57. Power plays 1 for 5 for the Hurricanes, 0 for 1 for the Jets. Face-offs pretty even, 13 for the Jets, 15 for the Canes. And we start the first Overtime period. Game 72 going to extra session. Strom leads the Carolina Hurricanes back out on the ice to face off against the Winnipeg Jets. Start of overtime. One back by the Winnipeg Jets. Now here comes Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser with the puck. He dumps it deep into the zone. Strom had to make a kick save. Now Jeremy passes up to Boski. Boski with the puck. He passes over. Shot save made by Lord Finesse. Puck still loose in the corner. Boski tries to get the puck. Jeremy tries to keep it in the zone. Forsberg kicks up the loose change. Forsberg gets drilled. McCable laid Forsberg out. Stick lifted. Now the puck's back in the neutral zone. Picked up by Jeremy. Jeremy with the Carolina Hurricanes. A chance to knock out his division rivals. Oh, shot wide of the net. Up off the glass. Puck's kicked out of the zone by Reggie. Now Forsberg lays a big hit. Forsberg with the loose change. He comes down. Passes back to Potter. Potter passes over to Reggie Hauser to the shot. Save made by Strom. Savage with the puck. He comes in, shot, deflected. I think Strom got a piece of that with his glove. Biohizzle comes streaking in to get the loose change. Passes back to Potter. Potter tries to hit Savage and does. Savage pokes it along the boards. Gets it deep. Now picked up by McCable. McCable battling it in the corner. He passes it around to Boski. Boski's pass intercepted. Here comes Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser gets it knocked off his stick. Now that puck deflects from Karam's back to Sniper, back to McCable. Now the Canes on the attack. They cross the blue line. Passes over to Hockey Player. Hockey Player comes in. Hockey Player's shot. Save made by Lord Finesse. Now Hockey Player with the puck. I'm sorry. Sniper with the puck. He passes back to Jeremy. That puck is deflected off the Hockey Player's thigh and goes wide. Now he has the puck. Passes back to Jeremy. Jeremy winds up. Shoots. Save made by Lord Finesse. Jeremy again with the puck. He shoots. Save made by Lord Finesse. Forsberg can't reach an outlet pass for a breakaway. Down low, passes it back to Savage. Savage to Reggie Hauser, and that puck is deflected by Sniper. Now picked up by McCable. McCable for the Canes on the counterattack. He tries some fancy moves, and he's robbed by Reggie Hauser. Now Forsberg to Reggie. Reggie slows it down, circles. Surveys the scene, passes back to the point. Shot made by Potter. Strom with an easy save. Reggie Hauser is going to the box for hooking. The Carolina Hurricanes are on the power play yet again. 6:53 left in the first overtime period. That puck is dumped safely into the Carolina zone, picked up by Sniper. Now over to Hockey Player. He gains the line, goes back to the half boards, comes down low, passes around the boards to Boski, excuse me. Now he's pressured by Forsberg. Potter with an active stick down there. He's trying to pressure Hockey Player into making a bad pass, but he doesn't. He hits Sniper. Sniper shoots, and that that shot is saved by Lord Finesse's pad. Now that puck goes into the Carolina zone, picked up by Boski. Boski with the puck on the power play. 45 seconds left for the 45 seconds left for the Carolina Hurricanes power play, and Savage dumps it over the bench. It's a 5-on-3. Big face-off win. Big face-off win for Forsberg as Biohizzle dumps it deep into the zone. Strom comes out of his net to play the puck for Jeremy. He passes over to Boski. Boski tries to pass it over to McCable, but that's intercepted by Biohizzle, and he dumps it deep into the zone. 16 seconds left on the 5-on-3 for the Carolina Hurricanes. Boski passes over to RBK Sniper. That shot's deflected and blocked wide. Now he has the puck back at the point, passes back down low to McCable. McCable passes over to Boski. Shoots. Save made by Lord Finesse. 4:47 left in the overtime. 1:10 left on the power play. Biohizzle looking to break his curse. Passes it for Forsberg, but Forsberg can't handle a loose puck. And picked up by the Carolina Hurricanes. Now here comes McCable. McCable with the puck. In overtime, over to Jeremy. Jeremy winds up. Nope, surveys the scene, passes over to McCable. He tries to pass over to Boski. Boski can't handle it. Now he comes in. Save made by Lord Finesse. Now that pass is deflected and picked up by Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser has the puck. He shoots it on Strom. Strom comes in. Loose puck. Forsberg with the puck. He tries to shoot and hits the side of the net. Now picked up by Jeremy. Being pressured by Forsberg. He passes over to McCable. Even strength. Penalty's over. He passes down low to Boski. Picked up by Forsberg. Forsberg hits Reggie. Reggie to Savage. To Biohizzle, who's coming up into the play. Biohizzle can't handle the puck. Now picked up by Savage. Down low to Biohizzle. Biohizzle hits Forsberg. Forsberg again off Strom's glove. It goes high and wide. Now that pass is deflected down into the zone by Biohizzle. Now Reggie Hauser with it to Savage. Savage tries to hit Forsberg, and that puck is deflected into the zone and picked up by Jeremy. Jeremy being pressured. Hits McCable in the neutral zone. The Carolina Hurricanes looking to ice this game with an overtime winner. Passes back to the point. RBK Sniper's shot is deflected wide. Now picked up by McCable. McCable with the puck deep down low in the corner, being pressured by the Jets. Now here comes Reggie Hauser. He's got Forsberg. It's a 2-on-2. Here comes Boski on the back check. Boski pokes Forsberg's stick. Knocks the puck off. Now picked up by Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser's kissing the glass thanks to McCable. Oh, I'm sorry, Boski. Now Reggie Hauser with the puck. Reggie Hauser passes it to the slot, picked up by Savage. Now Forsberg tries to get it. His puck loose in the corner. There's going to be a penalty on the Carolina Hurricanes. With 57.2 seconds left in overtime. Penalty on Sniper. Offensive zone face-off, won by Forsberg. And the Winnipeg Jets. Forsberg with the puck. He tries to pass it down low, but it's poked off his stick. Now, Savage with the puck. Savage tries to shoot it, and he gets laid out by Jeremy. Jeremy, a former Winnipeg Jet, not showing his former teammates any quarter. He's already scored one power play goal. In fact, both defenders for the Carolina Hurricanes have scored in this game. Forsberg gets slashed. No penalty. You saw him reach. He got slashed. Now, Jeremy with the puck. He dumps it deep into the Winnipeg zone. Picked up by Potter. Over to Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser decides to carry it across the line, and he does. He gets bumped off the puck. He still picks up. Forsberg with the puck. It gets knocked loose by Jeremy. It's going to be a penalty. What? Forsberg. The goon strikes again. He slashes the guy. Hits him in the face. What are you doing, goon? 4-on-4 for the next minute and 14 seconds. As this period is about to close out, with the Carolina Hurricanes and the Winnipeg Jets needing 2 overtime sessions to decide a winner in Game 72 of Season 9 in the VHL. Scores tied 4-4. Winnipeg Jets win this game, and they clinch the 8th seed. They lose this game, and the Montreal Canadiens clinch the 8th seed. At the end of the first overtime, we remain tied, obviously. Total shots, Carolina's thrashing the Jets 23-15. Hits, even at 10 apiece. Time on attack, not even close. 14 minutes to 6 minutes in favor of the Canes. Power plays, Winnipeg Jets 0 for 2. Carolina Hurricanes are only 1 for 7. Face-offs, even at 17 apiece. Here we go, the start of overtime number 2. 4-on-4 hockey. And then Forsberg has to sit in the box for the remainder of his high-sticking penalty. Savage, the hockey player, now picked up by Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser with the puck. He comes in, carries it across the line. Potter can't keep it in the zone. The Winnipeg Jets defensemen are jumping up into the offensive play, knowing that there is no tomorrow. They need to win this game. 2 points or nothing. 1 point gets them absolutely nothing. Now here comes McCable. McCable tries some fancy moves. He hits it up the post. 27 seconds left in Forsberg's minor. Now picked up by Boski. Boski for the Jets. He passes it to Hockey Player. Hockey Player gets tripped up. Hockey Player gets the puck. No call on that. Now McCable comes in. He already hit the post once. Now to RBK Sniper, who can't handle the puck. He picks up his own rebound. That puck is thrown around the boards. They're back to even strength. The Jets have killed it. Here's Boski. Boski back to RBK Sniper. That puck's deflected. Net. Rebound hits the post again. Now here comes Reggie Hauser. Reggie Hauser passes it to Savage. Savage comes in. Savage scores. Savage scores. Jets win. Jets are in the playoffs. They come back down 4-2 with less than a minute left in the game. Force overtime. Force a second overtime. And they win the game. Savage with a hat-trick goal punches the ticket to the postseason, and Biohizzle's curse is over. For those of you who don't know, Biohizzle has never made the playoffs in his entire VHL career. 11 seasons. Biohizzle just punched his ticket to the postseason for the first time on Savage's game-clinching goal. And that is your final 5-4 Winnipeg Jets over the Carolina Hurricanes in 2 overtimes. Total shots 24 for the Canes, 16 for the Jets, being outshot in overtime 10-2. Hits even at 10. Time on attack not even close. 15:01 to 6:55 in favor of the Canes. Power plays 0 for 2 for the Jets, 1 for 8 for the Canes. Faceoffs even at 18 apiece. The Winnipeg Jets are victorious, and they punched their ticket to the postseason on Savage's game-winning goal. For the VHL Television Network, I'm Adam Smythe. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for playoff hockey coming up this weekend. Final score from Carolina, Jets 5, Canes 4, 2 overtimes.